Alright guys, welcome back to Underground Science, and in this video we'll be talking about another type of anemia known as thalassemia. Alright, so there could be two types of thalassemia, right, and we'll discuss that at the end, so hopefully let's not forget. But the overall, we could say definition, or the definition of thalassemia would be the lack of functional hemoglobin inside our red blood cells. Alright, so we'll see later that we have alpha and beta thalassemia, where we're missing either the alpha globin chain or the beta globin chain. So in general, we can say that it's going to be the lack of functional hemoglobin, in our RBC, alright, so in our red blood cell. And so, so one thing to know is that thalassemia is genetic, all right. So what that means is that we have a mutation in our in the DNA, right? People with thalassemia have a mutation in one of their genes that actually ends up coding for the proteins for only 3 proteins. So let's go and talk about that now. So if we have alpha thalassemia, all right. So if we have alpha thalassemia, that would mean that that person would have a mutation in one of their genes that ends up coding for only two beta globin chains, and one alpha globin chain. All right, so that's why it's going to be called alpha thalassemia. All right, because we end up missing a globin chain. So that means that our hemoglobin, so this means, right, that our hemoglobin in that specific individual is going to be smaller than usual, right? The amount of hemoglobin, I should say, is going to be less than usual than a person without thalassemia. So, and then there's another type in where it's the same, it's still genetic, but what happens is that we see beta thalassemia. All right, so we see beta thalassemia and so let's go and finish writing this out. So beta thalassemia, and in beta thalassemia, guys, we see that again we have a mutation in one of our genes in our DNA, which causes our genes to code for only 3 proteins, but this time we're going to be missing a beta globin chain, and we're going to have both our alpha globin chains. So we're going to have one beta globin chain, right, which is in our heme group. Remember, we have 4 globin chains, 2 alpha, 2 beta. So we're going to have one beta globin chain, and we're going to have 2 alpha globin chains. All right, so then we're going to have 2 alpha globin chains in our hemoglobin. And so again, because we have a decreased amount of globin chains that make up our hemoglobin, we're going to have a lower than usual amount of hemoglobin in our red blood cells. All right, so lower than normal hemoglobin amount in our red blood cells. So based on the idea of a lower than normal amount of hemoglobin in our red blood cells for people who have thalassemia, we know that thalassemia can be categorized as a type of microcytic anemia, right? Because that would mean that our mean corpuscular volume would be less than around 85 femtoliters, all right? So which means it's microcytic. And so also it's anemia, it can be classified as anemia because remember, this leads to a lower than normal amount of hemoglobin. And if we have a lower than normal amount of hemoglobin, that's going to lead to a lower than normal amount of oxygen binding to our red blood cells, which means we're going to have less oxygen going to our tissues, right? Or going to our tissues. So that can be classified as anemia, right? A lack of red blood cells or a lack of functional hemoglobin can be classified as anemia. So that's it. That's the basic idea of thalassemia, right? So again, we have two types. We have alpha and beta thalassemia, right? So alpha and beta thalassemia. And sorry about that, we just discussed the basic idea of it is that alpha thalassemia, we're going to see we're missing an alpha globin chain. So remember in our red blood cell, we have our biconcave shape like this, and then we have our 4 globin chains. So let's say this, if we have alpha thalassemia red blood cell shown here, we're going to have 3 globin chains, all right? And those 3 globin chains, let's say it's just going to be, I'll just write it right here. Let's say we have, so if this is alpha, this red blood cell, let's go and write this out, sorry about that. If this red blood cell represents alpha thalassemia, we're going to see that this individual's red blood cells have 1 alpha globin chain, right? So it's going to have 1 alpha globin chain and 2 beta chains, beta globin chains. All right, and if we look at a beta thalassemia individual, a red blood cell of a beta thalassemia individual, so let's go and squeeze it in right here, right? So that's a horrible red blood cell, but let's go ahead and draw our 4 globin chains that make up our hemoglobin. So here in a beta thalassemia individual, we would still see 3 globin chains, however, we would have 2 alpha and 1 beta globin chain. All right, so that's not a good color, so let me go ahead. But you guys get the idea, right? So we're going to have 2 alpha and 1 beta globin chain. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to get through for another type of anemia called thalassemia. I hope that this video made sense to you guys. I hope that you guys tune into my future videos. We'll talk about more cool topics about bio, biochem, physics, and chem. And make sure to hit that notification bell, like, and subscribe. And so see you guys later, and stay safe.